Welcome back, Daytimers. We're here with Cory Richardson, who's been here on the show before, and he is a volunteer art therapist here in the St. John area. And he's been doing a project called Stitch Together for Uganda. But he's here today to talk about a few different things that are on the go right now. So welcome back to the show, Cory. It's nice
Thank you for having me.
Cory.
So we'll get to Uganda then, because I know you were telling me some really interesting new progressions that are happening there. But first, there's an interesting new program that they're looking at doing at Forest Hills Middle School that you were telling me about.
Well, there's a sort of movement within the public school system called tribes training, and it's already happening. Al Maxwell at St. Malachy's is leading these workshops with teachers and getting the teachers to get the students to work on relationships before learning education, like the subject matter. So it's really about, helping the students to, get to know each other and figure out where they're at and teach each other. So it's a very empowering sort of thing. They're taking responsibility for their own education as opposed to being talked at and, you have to memorize all this stuff. It's more about like, where am I going with my life and who are we as a classroom and how can we learn from one another. And it's really exciting.
So you said you actually took one of these training
courses, I went to there was a three-part sort of series that Forest Hills Middle School was going through, and I went to the last day of that three-part series.
Okay.
And so a lot of it was like standing in a circle with the other teachers and talking about, where you're at, what's going on, and kind of like getting to know one another. And so this is a movement that all the, not all the schools, but different schools select to take this training. And so I'm the principal, Tanya Whitney, at Forest Hills Middle School, has asked me to be, so they created a job for me there called Citizenship Facilitator. And I don't necessarily have it yet. She wrote a grant. She just kind of created this grant proposal to the government. Kelly Lamrock is the Minister of Education, and he's got all these sort of ideas about how education should be, and so, which is more community-based, more like getting mentors to come in from the community. And so Kelly has written this grant for me to be part of the school from November until April. And so my sort of, dream come true job is to create a cultural exchange between Uganda and the schools in St. John, which I was kind of telling you about, but it's actually happened. And so, yeah, maybe I'll be able to do things in Mexico and have all these cultural exchanges between the schools here and learning.
Well, that's interesting because we have a lot of cultural exchanges right now, let's say with China and with Korea. I mean, it's huge, especially in the high schools and stuff. I'm not sure if they've actually filtered down into middle schools yet, but I know they're doing it.
Have you heard of the smart boards?
Yes.
Classrooms have these smart boards.
Yep.
Internet in the classroom. I have my cousin's girlfriend is a teacher, and she has this. It's just like a. When I was in grade 2 or something, we would have dreamed about this. We were on Commodore 64s, but this big screen that you can touch and interact with other schools.
Yes,
it's incredible.
It's basically an educational device that you can use, ladies and gents. It's called a smart board, and what it is basically it's like a white board that's on the screen, and you have an LCD projector that kind of goes up on it, but it connects to your computer. So in other words, you can access the internet, you can actually do assignments on it, and it's one of these boards that if you go up and you touch, you can move. Let's say for me, for music class, if I put up a staff, which is just the lines on a page, you can select, let's say, a quarter note or any type of musical notes, touch it, and then drag it over and put it on and create songs. So in other words, the kids can come up and create their own melodies and stuff on it, and then press like a play button, and it plays through the melody or whatever. Retouch it, erase it, do whatever you want, but it adds all this stuff. Or if you're on the internet, you can highlight certain sections and then place it on the desktop, which would be like on the computer screen or whatever. So anyway, it's just a great interactive way of getting the kids involved and using technology to help do that. So yeah, it's really quite fascinating.
What I'm hoping to do is use that technology to be able to go to Uganda and have that interface between schools there. And so what has actually happened, I've joined up with an organization called Life in Africa, and we have a farm, and I say we, the organization, has a 5,000-acre organic farm. I mean, it's not that it's all being used at the moment, but we're going to host 150 child-headed families. So these are children that are looking after the brothers and sisters because the parents have died of AIDS. And so we're actually creating a whole village on this farm And my dream is to create a geodesic dome out of bamboo. So we're actually growing the bamboo on the farm, building this massive dome. So maybe like the one that I built in Louisiana was 60 feet wide, 30 feet tall, huge. You know, filling it with hammocks. You know, these are the hammocks I'm making. I've been at Kingston Market for the past 2 weeks selling the hammocks, and so that's happening now. Today is the last day to vote on this project. You can go onto razoo.com, Razoo, RAZOO.com, Razoo, and search OPOK Farm. OPOK is O-P-O-K. So just search OPOK, and you can go on there and join Razoo and then vote on the OPOK Farm proposal. And that could, I mean, if all the listeners did that, I would get $10,000 to go and make this bamboo dome and make a well on the farm. And so please,
you know. Now, sorry, where's the vote going? Who is it going to the government or?
No.
Or
it's going to our project called OPOK Farm.
Oh,
so
I see.
Go onto razoo.com and
check it out.
Yeah, OPOK Farm.
Yeah.
Click vote, and we need a certain amount of votes
to be able
to I mean, because other
nonprofits
are also vying for the same amount of money, and so that's it.
So when it comes to supporting you, then, Cory, I mean, as far as what we can do here, I mean, obviously, yes, we can vote. When it comes to the hammock stuff,
buy a hammock. I just ordered 100 yards of material to make hammocks, and so the funds for this are going toward getting me to Uganda and buying sewing machines in Uganda. And then we're going to get the kids in Uganda making these hammocks and giving them out to all the other kids so they have a place to sleep.
Oh my gosh.
And the importance of that is that it's raining there. It's actually like a disaster zone right now because it's had too much rain. So you got to get them off the wet ground.
The ground. Yes.
Also, malaria is huge. When there's a lot of rain, there's a lot of mosquitoes. And when you have the hammock on you, you can actually wrap yourself in it, and it'll keep the mosquitoes off.
Oh.
So it serves a lot of purposes. And these kids are homeless, so,
This is the most incredible project.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get the vote going here on razoo.com.
Please.
Very durable
OPOK,
stuff here, people.
O-P-O-K?
Yeah.
Farm.
Right.
OPOK Farm.
Yeah.
Got to vote and
buy
get it
a
in there.
hammock
Let's
for
help
the
Cory
Hammocks
out.
are $50. And,